You see, there was a time when they had you wrapped around their little fingers. Oh, they played their game so well. Whispers in the dark, smiles painted with deception, hands extended in false friendship. They built a world of illusions around you, a carefully crafted mirage where lies shimmered like truth, where manipulation dressed itself in the robes of sincerity. And you walked right into it, like a moth drawn to a flame, not realizing that the glow was never meant to guide you. No, no, no. It was meant to consume you. But something happened, didn't it? That tiny nagging itch in the back of your mind, the one you ignored for so long, finally became unbearable. The mask slipped. The cracks in their grand illusion started to show. And once you saw it, once you truly saw it, there was no going back. They can't fool you anymore, because now you're awake. Oh, and doesn't that terrify them? Because their power, their entire existence, was built on your blindness. They needed you to remain obedient, to keep drinking from the poisoned well of their deception. They spun their stories, wove their narratives, made you question your own instincts. But now, their strings dangle uselessly, their control shattered, their whispers reduced to empty echoes. And the best part? They have no idea what to do with you now. You see, waking up, it's not just about seeing the truth. No, no, no. It's about understanding what the truth means. It's about realizing that every lie they told you, every manipulation they wrapped around you like a suffocating noose, was never about love, never about care, never about protection. It was about control. It was about keeping you caged, docile, predictable. Because a person who doesn't question is easy to rule. But a person who wakes up, that's a problem, a big one. And you, my dear, have become their worst nightmare. You don't just see through their lies, you see through them. You see the desperation in their eyes as they scramble to rewrite the script, as they desperately try to re-establish the illusion. They try to gaslight you, try to convince you that you're the problem, that maybe you're just overthinking, that you're being too harsh. Oh, how pathetic. They used to be so confident, so sure of their ability to bend reality around you. But now their words drip with fear. Their smiles twitch at the edges. Their hands shake ever so slightly when they try to pull you back in. But you don't fall for it anymore. You don't second guess yourself, because you know how they operate, how they twist, how they manipulate. You know their playbook inside and out, and that makes you dangerous. It makes you unpredictable. It makes you uncontrollable, and they hate that. You see, the moment you woke up, the power dynamic shifted. You stopped being their pawn, their puppet, their malleable little tool, and now they are the ones stumbling in the dark, unsure of their next move. They can't handle a version of you that doesn't fall in line, that doesn't nod along, that doesn't swallow their well-rehearsed lies without question. They built their world on the assumption that you'd never open your eyes. And now that you have, that world is collapsing. Oh, but don't think they'll give up so easily. No, no, no. Desperation breeds creativity. And when manipulators feel their grip slipping, they get inventive. They'll try to reframe the narrative, cast themselves as the victim, paint you as the villain. You were ungrateful. You were too sensitive. You were never satisfied. Anything to make them look like the wounded party, the innocent soul who just wanted the best for you. But you don't buy it anymore. Because waking up doesn't just change how you see them, it changes how you see yourself. You realize that you were never weak, never naive, never too much. You were simply trusting in a world that never deserved your trust. You were giving your loyalty to people who saw it as an opportunity, not a gift. And now that you've taken it back, they are scrambling. You want to know the funny part? They could have had you, truly had you. All they had to do was be real. All they had to do was be honest. But that was never in their nature, was it? They thrive in the shadows, in the half-truths, in the carefully constructed facades. And when someone like you steps out of the fog and into clarity, they don't know how to deal with it. So they panic. They lash out. They dig deeper into their deceit, thinking if they just scream the lie loudly enough, maybe, just maybe, you'll believe it again. But you won't. You can't. Because once your eyes adjust to the light, they can never be forced to shut again. And so, here we are. You, standing in the wreckage of their illusions, watching them scramble to rebuild what you've already torn down. They will try everything. Manipulation, guilt, anger, even fake apologies. They will test you, prod you, bait you into slipping back into the person they once controlled. But you won't. Because waking up isn't just about knowing the truth. It's about embracing it. It's about standing tall in it, unshaken, unbreakable. And now that you see clearly, the real game begins. And trust me, they're not ready for what's coming next. They thought you would crumble under the weight of your own awareness. That maybe, just maybe, the truth would be too much for you to handle. They counted on you being overwhelmed, on you questioning yourself, on you desperately seeking the comfort of the old illusion. Because that's how it always worked before, didn't it? Every time you got too close to the edge, too close to seeing the strings behind the curtain, they dragged you back in with a well-placed lie, a carefully orchestrated guilt trip, a moment of false reassurance. But this time is different. Because now, you're not just aware, you're in control. And that shakes them to their core. They don't know what to do with this version of you, the one that no longer reacts the way they expect. They push, they pull, they poke at your emotions, waiting for the old you to reappear, the one who second-guessed, the one who apologized for things that weren't their fault, the one who always made excuses for their behavior. But that person is gone. That person doesn't exist anymore. And in their place stands someone they never prepared for. You, unshackled, unapologetic, unforgiving. And now they're scrambling. They try to mirror your awakening, pretend that they too have grown, that they understand now, that they see things differently. They adopt your words, your insights, your revelations, hoping that by parroting them back at you, they can regain the upper hand. But it's hollow, it's forced. Because the truth cannot be faked, growth cannot be performed. And you see the cracks in their act before they even finish their lines. They never expected you to break free, and they certainly never expected you to stay free. So they cycle through tactics, searching for a way to pull you back into the fold. One moment, they play the victim, spinning sob stories meant to make you feel guilty for leaving them behind. The next, they play the aggressor, throwing accusations, insults, anything that might shake you, anything that might make you doubt your own transformation. And when that doesn't work, when they see that none of it is affecting you the way it used to, that's when the real fear sets in. Because now, it's not just about losing control over you. No, it's much worse than that. Now, it's about what you might do next. Because someone like you, someone who has been forged in the fire of deception, betrayal, and manipulation, someone who has risen from the ashes of their own awakening, isn't just dangerous in their eyes. You are unpredictable, uncontainable, a force they cannot anticipate or manipulate. And that makes them afraid. See, they were comfortable when they could read you like a book, when they knew exactly which buttons to press, exactly how to shape your reality to fit their needs. But now the script has been flipped. Now they are the ones unsure of what's coming. And deep down, in the pit of their carefully concealed anxiety, they know, oh, they know, that the person standing before them is not someone they can deceive anymore. And the best part? You don't even have to do anything. Your silence speaks louder than their pleas. Your absence weighs heavier than any of their accusations. Your refusal to engage in their games is the sharpest blade you could ever wield against them. Because the moment you stopped giving them a reaction, the moment you stopped feeding into their chaos, you became untouchable. And that is something they never accounted for, because they always thought they would have access to you. They assumed that no matter how far you tried to walk away, no matter how much you swore you were done, there would always be some part of you they could reach. A lingering doubt, a weak spot, a tether they could pull on when necessary. But now, standing in front of them, you proved them wrong, and they hate it. Oh, how they hate it. Because for the first time, they are forced to face themselves. And what a terrifying thing that must be for them, to look into a mirror and see their own emptiness staring back. No more distractions, no more scapegoats, just them and the consequences of their own actions. And you just watch. You observe their panic, their scrambling, their frantic attempts to rewrite history. But you don't step in. You don't correct them. You don't waste your energy explaining yourself, proving yourself, defending yourself. Because you don't need to. They know. Oh, they know. And that's enough. You see, power isn't in the confrontation. It's not in the shouting matches, the desperate attempts to make them see what they refuse to acknowledge. Power is in the unwavering stillness of knowing, of seeing, of understanding exactly who they are, and choosing deliberately to no longer participate in their illusion. And once you make that choice, once you truly embrace the clarity of it all, there is no force on this earth that can drag you back. Not their words, not their guilt, not their crocodile tears, nothing. Because you're not just free, you're untouchable. And now that you've crossed that threshold, there's only one question left. What comes next? You see, that's what unsettles them most of all. Not just that you've broken free, but that you are now standing at the precipice of something greater. You are no longer bound by their perception, no longer shackled by their expectations. And when a person reaches that level of clarity, when they truly see the game for what it is, they don't just walk away, they evolve. And evolution, that terrifies them. Because now, they are no longer dealing with the same person they once knew. Now, they are dealing with someone who has stepped into their power, someone who has not only escaped the illusion, but is ready to create a new reality entirely of their own choosing. And that changes everything. Because while they are still trapped in their old patterns, still clinging to their tired tricks, you are already light years ahead. You have moved on. You have built yourself anew. And they are left in the dust, staring at the remnants of the control they once thought was unbreakable. But it broke. Oh, it shattered. And now, as you stand at the edge of something far greater, the only question left is, are you ready to take the next step? The next step. That's what they fear the most. Not just that you've woken up, not just that you've broken free, but that you're moving forward, that you're evolving, rising beyond the wreckage they tried to bury you under. See, breaking free was just the beginning. The real power, the real transformation, that comes now, and they know it. Oh, they know it, because for the first time, you are no longer looking back. You are no longer tethered to their reality, their illusions, their carefully constructed narratives. No more questioning yourself. No more explaining yourself. No more seeking permission to exist in your own truth. You're done with that game. And now you walk a path they can't follow. Oh, but they'll try. They'll try so hard to keep up, to find some way, any way, to pull you back into their orbit. They'll rewrite history, twisting events to suit their desperate attempts at control. They'll pretend to be the victim, spinning their web of deception in the hopes that you'll feel some lingering sense of guilt, some phantom obligation to soothe their discomfort. And when that doesn't work, when they realize you're no longer playing by their rules, that's when the mask truly falls. Because beneath the performances, beneath the feigned innocence, beneath the carefully crafted personas, there lies the one thing they can never fully hide. Fear. Not fear of losing you. No, that was never the concern. You were never real to them in the way they pretended. You were a piece on their board, a tool in their arsenal, a resource to be used when convenient and discarded when necessary. No, their fear isn't about you leaving. Their fear is about what happens next. Because now, you are unpredictable. Now, you are something they cannot define, cannot manipulate, cannot control. And that is the thing that keeps them awake at night. Because if they cannot control you, if they cannot shape your perception, then they are forced to face themselves. And that is a fate worse than anything they tried to inflict on you. So they panic, they scramble, they search for ways to undermine your confidence, to make you hesitate, to make you second-guess the clarity you found. They whisper doubts, hoping that some part of you still listens. They weave new lies, hoping that maybe, just maybe, you'll still fall for them. And when none of that works, that's when the rage begins. Oh, and it will begin, because nothing infuriates them more than seeing you thrive, seeing you at peace, seeing you unaffected by their attempts to provoke you. They will lash out in ways you never expected, in ways they never dared before. Because desperation makes monsters out of manipulators. And the moment they realize their grip on you is slipping for good, they will resort to their last, most dangerous weapon: chaos. They will create it. They will stir it. They will drag it into your life in any way they can, hoping that if they cannot control you, they can at least disrupt you. Because if they can't win, they will try to make you lose. If they can't break you, they will try to exhaust you. If they can't pull you back into their world, they will try to shake the foundation of the one you are building. And the worst part? They won't even see it as an attack. No, to them, it will all be justified, necessary, deserved, because in their twisted perception, they are the victims now. They are the ones who have been wronged. They are the ones who deserve your attention, your energy, your focus. And if they can't have it through adoration, they will take it through conflict. But here's where they fail. Here's where they lose, completely and irreversibly. Because you see it now. You recognize the cycle, the patterns, the manipulations. You understand that their chaos is not your responsibility, that their rage is not your burden, that their fear is not your problem to solve. You are no longer their puppet. You are no longer dancing to the tune of their dysfunction. And that is freedom. Not just breaking away, not just escaping, but standing firm in your truth, regardless of what they throw at you. Because they will try to bait you. They will try to lure you into battles that do not serve you. They will try to provoke a reaction, hoping to remind you of who you used to be. But the difference is clear now. You choose what you engage in. You choose where your energy goes. And no amount of manipulation, no amount of deception, no amount of rage can drag you back into a war you no longer wish to fight. They can scream, they can plot, they can try, over and over, to reclaim the control they have lost. But it's gone. And here's the most poetic part of it all. You don't even need revenge. You don't need to hurt them the way they hurt you. You don't need to expose them, to destroy them, to force them to acknowledge the truth. Because the truth is already their punishment. The loss of control is already their downfall. The realization that they no longer dictate your reality is already their greatest suffering. And you walk away. Not because you are weak, but because you are stronger than they ever imagined. Because you have outgrown the need for validation, for closure, for anything they once had to offer. Because the next step isn't about them, it's about you. And that's what they will never understand. That's what they will never accept. Because to them, the world revolves around their games, their narratives, their power plays. But to you, the world is so much bigger, so much freer, so much more than they ever allowed you to see. And that's why you win. Not because you played their game better, not because you outmaneuvered them at their own tactics, but because you walked away from the board entirely. Because you saw the game for what it was and chose something greater, something real, something untouchable. And as they spiral, as they grasp at the remnants of the control they once wielded, as they drown in the chaos of their own making, you take that final step forward into a life they can never reach, into a freedom they can never understand, into a power they can never take away. And that is the greatest revenge of all, not in their destruction, but in your rise.